Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit Azapi here, back again with Attack on Titan Season 4. We're on episode 18. Thank you to everyone that commented in the last video and kind of put me on the right track and reminding me that they are trying to eat Eren, not just kill him off. I'm pretty sure I made a similar mistake earlier in this series, and it may have been in the first half of this season actually. Somewhere like similar to just like, why aren't they just killing them in this way when they could just easily do it? And of course it's the idea that they need the power. So, of course, they have to eat him. I don't know why that kind of information just refuses to stick in my head. But it's there now, and it's remaining. Okay, so thank you, everyone, that put me on the right track in regards to that. Also, there were some people that told me that the likelihood is that the sort of episodes that are slated to come out in this second half of the season will probably not result in the end of the show. Judging by where they are in the story at this point in the anime, that they don't think that they can finish it up in just the second half of this season. So, but the thing is that it's called the final season, right? Season 4. So I don't know if it's a case of whether or not they'll just tack on a number of episodes sort of on the end of this season, at a later date, in a year's time or whatever, just to finish it up. But there were people basically saying that they could do it in possibly even a movie to finish it up, But regardless, more AOT is great. So I'm quite happy to learn that information. So yeah, in the last episode, the battle did commence. We have the likes of Reiner, Galliard, and Peak fighting off against Eren. Eren can hold his own. I mean, with having the Warhammer Titan power alongside him is insane. He's able to just take on Reiner and Galliard at the same time. But of course, once Peak got involved, and Commander Magoth, I believe his name is, hell of a shot. Twice he brained him, which basically put his motor skills out of commission, and he was unable to move. He was able to use his Warhammer Titan powers though in that sort of, even though that he was unable to move his limbs or anything like that, which was cool. But we did have Reiner, who used one of the Warhammer Titan's sort of spikes to essentially, I guess it's more to kind of just stick him possibly into the building. And it's going to be interesting to see, because we know that the Titans can heal relatively fast, some more quickly than others. How long it's going to take for Eren's brain to actually kick back into gear. It's because it's either going to have to be very quick, or the reinforcements are going to have to come. We know that the crew, the Paradise crew, are out of the cells now, so Armin can be free to get his Colossal Titan out. And also, you'd have to assume that Zeke and Flock are on their way back. But we don't know how long that's going to be. We don't know how far really they were away from wherever they're fighting. I mean, that's another thing, is I don't know where they're fighting. Because are they in Shiganshina? I don't think they are. I don't know which wall they're actually at right now. If they're at Wall Cena, directly in the middle, or if they're on the edge. Because I know that they're obviously wanting to do this rumbling thing. And you would assume that if you're awakening the Titans from in the wall, you would probably do the outside wall first. I don't know, but, so I don't know where they are. I don't think it really matters that much anyway, but, regardless. So yeah, Zeke and Flock are on their way back. Zeke, obviously, is now a part of the sort of, on the side of Eren anyway, so if he's coming, then he's going to be on our side, which is going to be interesting to see. Levi's alive. Hanji got him out of there, jumped into some rapids downriver. So I don't know if we'll see him in this episode. And yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't think there's anything else to really get into. I think that's pretty much it, yeah. So we are going to get into episode 18 and see what we get. As always, the reaction will be here on YouTube, but if for whatever reason it gets taken down for copyright in the future, I'll re-upload this as a discussion-only video, and a link to the reaction will be in the description below. As always, a link to the full length will be in the description below as well, so if you do want to watch my full-length reaction to this episode, and all the other episodes that I do, then yeah, links in the description for that as well. But yeah, nothing else really to talk about, so we're going to get in episode 18 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. And just like, listen to all this going on, like, they don't care. They don't know what's going on. Come on, Gene. Nice, right? We've got Connie kind of on side for a bit.
私たちを突き放すのはどうしてなの？
向こうにいる敵全部殺せば俺たち自由になれるのか。まさか無理やりついた嘘だからね。エレンに全て終わった後で聞いてみたらいい。
Who was it? Was it Willie Tyler that came out and like that he'd used the rumbling to flatten the world? Is he literally gonna? Is that Erin's plan? Oh god! Oh, look at his eye just hanging from his socket. Alright, he's got his motor skills back. Damn, it was that heavy. I guess the Jaw Titan isn't like made for taking big hits, really, is he? Oh god. That's an insane angle. Jesus Christ! God, Eren is scary. Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh fuck! Zeke's here. Oh. They could barely contain Eren. How? The Wonder Boy. Oh bloody hell. God. Oh god, these Zeppelins are screwed! Oh god! They can't take on both Eren and Zeke, surely. Fuck! Oh, fuck! Oh my god! They're gonna get bit. They're screwed. They can't deal with this. Eren's gonna be back to work in order now. Oh, not quite. His brain mustn't have fully healed yet. Pixis.
ただ少々飲みすぎてしもうての。ここにある立体起動装置には数に限りがある。黒の腕章をつけていない者が優先して装備せよ。まんまと敵の策にかかった飲みつけどもはわしに続け。前線で侵略者を迎え撃つ。
そのマフラー置いていくんですか？置いていく。
Okay, interesting. God, what a shot. Damn! I wonder if that'll do much damage to the wall, if any. Probably not, because we'll know what the wall's made out of, they'll be, so. Zeke could just run to Eren right now, right? Runs back. Fuck! Oh god! Yeah, they would be thinking that. Oh, you don't want them to hear that. Yeah, I like put like that could have put a bump in the road for. Oh god! What kind of face is that?
エレンとジークを助けてください。
Jesus.
信じていますよ。
She is scary, man.
言ってんだ、戦え。
Oh, they're right there.
まずい。
さあ来るんだ、マーレの捕虜め。俺はこの捕虜を民家に拘束してくる。
He's gonna let
俺
him
たち
go.
は先に行くぞ。
He doesn't get shot by mistake, like, if they, you know what I mean? Because they don't know what his plan is. Alright, well done, Gabby.
子供が来る場所じゃない。家に帰るんだ。
Okay, nice.
ナイルさん、ありがとう。
Niall, that's his name. Oh, fuck. Look who it is.
出口は炎で塞がれてしまう。
He's the one that fucking beat the living shit out of that, right?
あん二人なら大丈夫やろ。たくましいなき。
どうしてお姉ちゃんを殺したやつのことなんか心配するの？
Oh, man.
殺してやりたい。
Yeah, she was the one that really didn't like her.
悪魔なんていなかった。この島には人がいるだけ。やっとライナーの気持ちが分かった。ごめんね、ファルコ。あんたは分かっていたのに巻き込んで。
病院の少尉軍人がエレン・イェーガーだと知らずに手紙を区外のポストから彼の仲間に送り続けて、レベリオで大勢殺された。だからウドとソフィアも俺のせいで。
It's a lot of guilt to shoulder.
あとお前が好きだ。お
Fucking
前に鎧の巨人を継承してほしくないから戦士候補生になった。
what hell of a thing to just come out with at this moment in time. Oh, God.
何
Bloody hell.
言ってんの？
俺は巨人になっちまうかもしれないから。
That's a good point. He literally could turn into a Titan at any time.
お前が脊髄液を飲んだことをジークさんが知れば叫びを阻止できるかもしれない。
Oh, fuck, Galliot's back. He's recovered. Oh my god! He's so accurate with those fucking... I mean, you know, he loves baseball, doesn't he?
もうすぐだ。
He's had all that practice.
あともう少しで俺たちの夢が叶う。
Peak. Damn, look at the skull. I haven't seen that yet. No way. No. Surely not. No, of course. Oh, jeez. Oh, fuck, he's still on it.
魂打ちですよ。
Ah! Fucking hell! Oh my god! It missed. It did take off his arm though. Christ. Oh, fucking hell, man, he's so close! God.
世で一番それを思っちゃいけねえのはエレン。
Don't you dare end. Right, thank fuck.
叫ぶはずだ。
Oh shit, yeah, man! Oh my god, there's so many. No! No! You fuck! Oh no, man! I hate this. I hate it. Okay, episode 18. Sneak attack. Oh god. Another cliffhanger. Another fucking cliffhanger. All we expect nowadays, really. God, I just felt like at the end there was so many. I don't know. There's so many things to take into account, like the idea that, you know, Commander Magath saying that Zeke, with any ounce of energy that he does have, all he has to do is scream. And with Falco, you know, essentially running towards Zeke. Because Colt's plan is basically just to tell Zeke that Falco has ingested some of the fluid. Not in the same way everyone else did, by drinking wine. But he got smashed over the head with a bottle, right? So it got into his blood that way. I mean, even if Falco was to have stayed where he was, captive, I still think it was close enough. I think it must be something to do with... I don't know if it's something to do with, like, sound waves, so that, like, basically if you can hear it, then you're close enough. Possibly, you know? And considering, like, you know, like the distance of where they were being held captive and the battle going ahead, I think if Zeke screamed, I don't think, you know, Falco would have changed, even if he was still there. So it makes no difference him running towards Zeke. But, you know, like at the end there, that was the last thing that was on my mind because I was just so shocked of what the hell just happened. I find it interesting that that's Cole's plan, is to just tell Zeke, you know, that Falco is ingested, so don't. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, I don't think Zeke cares. You know? So I don't see how that would ever plan out. There's a lot that could happen in this fight. I mean, you know, another thing, like, is Armin going to join in? Because he's free now. So is he going to join the battle as the Colossal or not? I mean, I guess there's something to be said about, because the Colossal is so kind of devastating, that you don't want to cause so much destruction in your own sort of place, you know what I mean? So maybe there is that, but I mean, with all of these Titans kicking about and everything, like, it's best just to get rid of them now. I mean, they're all there. You could take them all out now. And I mean, with the, you know, the amount of, like, sort of fire and everything going on, there's a hell of a lot less now because, you know, they took out the Zeppelins. But, you know, like, with Armin, it's like the Colossal can serve as a shield as well. Like, with him just being out there, like, in the flesh, like all it could take was, like, one straight bullet to the head, and that's it. So, you know, even just for the defense that it that the huge Titan garners is more than enough reason to use it. You know, it's like, I mean, I assume that they literally just witnessed Zeke get shot down off the wall as well. So there's, you know, and you've got Reiner and Galliard who are coming, you know, like, they are coming back, and they're sort of, you know, Galliard did take a hell of a hit, but he's back and recovered. You know what I mean? So Eren's motor skills are still not there. His brain still hasn't fully recovered because he's able to move, but, you know, not very effectively, which is why it's taken him so long. I did say, like, during the episode, like, why doesn't Zeke just run to him? You know what I mean? Like, that would be a hell of a lot quicker. But I don't know if he's staying up there as a way to fend off the attack as well, which is basically the only logical reason I would think that why he's still there. He's just hanging up on the wall. But yeah, man. That did change the sort of, like, the tide of the battle. Like, because that's the thing, like, once Zeke turned up, and his entrance was great, by the way. They normally are in this show. But I thought that, like, once Zeke arrived, that was it. Because Eren was doing well by himself anyway, you know? He was holding Reiner and Galliard off. Like, even with the lack of motor skills. It's insane. So never mind just that. But then having Zeke turn up, the accuracy of his bolas is insane. So yeah, he was able to take care of, you know, get Reiner off of him, even though, like, Eren was about to, like, tear Reiner's fucking head off. It was nuts. But then obviously, turning his attention towards Peak. But he couldn't finish the job there. That was a good little fucking idea as well. Like Peak exiting the Titan to create a smoke screen, and the idea that anyone would be still up on the gun, you just wouldn't think. And because there was no kind of communication or vocalization. I mean, there really isn't anyway because of the lack of technology that they have anyway. It's not like they have radios to communicate whether or not something I killed this, for example. And they basically just got confused, and the smoke screen allowed it so that Magath could sit in the seat and get ready to aim, whilst you had all of the sort of the soldiers underneath it ready to take out the Jaegerists. And then Peak just hiding under there too. Great little strategy. And it worked. I mean, all it would have took is for Magath to just a little bit to the right, and Zeke would have been finished. But this is the thing: is is that another case of, did he do that on purpose to not kill him? I mean, put it this way: I guess they would have a level of information and knowledge as to where they are. I mean, they know they're in the nape, but it's different when you can't see the target who you're trying to take out. And if it's going to be a case of Magath literally aimed to not kill him off because they want to eat him, I don't know. I don't think that's the case. I would assume that they're just willing to kill off the Beast Titan in general, just to get Eren, and to stop them from doing the rumbling and whatever, because they do have that information now. So it's they obviously don't want them to touch and get into contact. I thought that's all it was. A touch would be enough, but I'm pretty sure it said at the midway point that the knowledge wasn't there. Or is it this kind of thing? Because the mid card, they usually do the whole for public information, right? Where is it? I cannot find it. Damn it! It's so annoying trying to find that. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Got it right. So yeah, the goal of the surprise attack is to retake the Founding Titan. It is unknown what conditions must be met to activate the Founding Titan's power. So that's the only thing that it says in the subtitle. So it's not one of those things where it's public knowledge or anything like that. But maybe it's more knowledge to Marley. That it's unknown to them what the conditions are. Because in general, to me, it's all you need to do is be contact. The contact is the only condition that you need. I mean, we've seen that before when Eren punched the Smiling Titan's hand, right? For that brief second, well, there was actually some time actually following that the power was there, that he was able to control the Titans. So yeah, it's a great sort of way to sort of make a countdown that's not a countdown in a way. It's because of the lack of motor skills and Eren's so slow and he's basically shuffling his way over to Zeke, that it's almost like a countdown. It's what happens when Eren finally gets to Zeke, It's a great way to sort of just add that kind of sort of pressure, I guess, to you know, to the Malians to stop that from happening. But also, like, it kind of just like it's ramping up, like that sort of just like kind of that anxious feeling of exactly what's going to happen as soon, because I mean, listen, Zeke could scream, and then you've got all of these people who can become Titans. If that is the case, we're going to lose Nile, Pixis, and Falco. I think those are the main three. I don't think there's anybody else of like real note that has drank, like has the spinal fluid essentially within them. You know. But this is the other thing as well. Is like with the sort of like the Marley Titans there as well. I guess this actually goes in. I guess this means the same thing actually for the, like, all the Titans. Like, if any of them are exposed, and you've got these Titans running around, it's possible that we could get some new Titans, like new Titan shifters. Specifically with Falco, I would imagine, because he's the one that, like, when we met him in the first episode of this season, and like following that, like, I remember, like, Falco seemed to be, like, kind of like the one that, I don't know, like, he's always been sort of, like, kind of morally right. I think he's got, like, a real head on him. And, he reminds me a lot of, like, of Armin in a lot of ways. So I could imagine, like, him ending up with a Titan. I mean, we know that he was already in, like, sort of, like, line behind, like, Gabby to get the Armor Titan, right? So we know that their time, like, is coming to an end, you know? So it's possible. It's possible that we could see a new Titan shifter after this battle's over, which would be insane. But then that's the thing, is that if for example it was to happen to Zeke, Eren's kind of screwed. Well, he's not. He's not, because there is still Historia, right? So there is still Historia. They're away, like, in some kind of, like, secret, like, area away from everyone else, right? From the last that we heard of her. Which was a while ago, was it? It might have been, like, it might have been Season 3? Last time we saw her? The end of Season 3, of course, but yeah. So that's still not out of the question yet. But yeah, it'll be interesting. So the first note, anyway, that I wrote down for this episode was, you know, when it was basically a flashback to when Eren was, you know, pointing over the sea and basically saying, if we kill all our enemies over there, we'll finally be free. And it cut back immediately to Armin, who said, could it be? And I'm wondering that must be Eren's, you know, it's not simple as a case of using the rumbling to defend, you know, Paradis, but it like to use it to basically trample the world, which was what sort of Willie Tybard had mentioned. You know, and this is something that they've been saying for a while, is that they God, it's like everything becoming true, isn't it? From is it from Grisha's words in the book? I can't remember where it initially was, but the idea that the story as it goes is because obviously one of the royal family headed up, like, you know, basically took the founding Titan and went onto this island and basically said, like, if anybody attempts anything, then you'll set them free, and, you know, and whatnot. But that's the reason why they had that whole forgetting thing. or that thing that basically was inherent, like with the power, it was like to stop them from using that. It was kind of like the will of that one king, right? That once they took the power, they obviously took on that sort of idea that they, you know. So yeah, I mean, it could be that that's what Eren's thinking, you know, is like it's not going to be good enough to defend, but kill all our enemies. We all know that that's been sort of like set out into the world past parody, right? Is the idea that the world's against them now, so it's like, well, they're all our enemies then. So basically it's like, well, just like kill the world, us all, and it's us that's all that's left. Us against the world. Fucking hell. Yeah. I'm guessing that's what Armin was basically guessing what Eren could possibly be thinking when he said, could it be? But, you know, let me know in the comments if you think differently. We had Reiner there, who's obviously still, at the very beginning of the episode, still trying to get Eren to stop, you know what I mean? And just basically put him out of his misery. And he says, like, we were, like, you know, he said something like, how did I ever think that we were the same? And I think what he's referring to there is the idea that, like, Reiner's wanting to stop all of it while Eren's wanting to sort of carry on. I'm guessing that's what he means, you know. But I mean, in one sense, it's like I guess it's not as black and white as just being like, well, they're the same because they, you know, I think their ends are the same. Like the goals of like the end are kind of like the same, but it's like the means, I guess. If Eren is really wanting to basically just kill everyone off and all that's left are just, you know, the aliens in parody, then I mean, fucking, you know, that's one way that they'll achieve peace, I guess, eventually. And Reiner just basically just wants it to stop now, you know. But that's the thing, is like with Eren and, you know, basically in order to protect all of his, you know, his friends and whatnot, like, he can't allow them to come in and kill him off because he's the one heading this whole thing up to try and stop them from attacking Parody, because literally they will just come and destroy them if you know what I mean. The sort of like the founding titan and everything like that, and you know, the power that he has now, that he has access to, allows him and his friends to be safe. So it's like he's not going to give that up. So, you know, yeah. Seemingly, yeah, the Jaw Titan can't take big hits. I guess it makes sense. He's you know, the Jaw Titan is more maneuverable, small. So it makes sense that like just like one hit like was essentially a big hit to him. You know, because normally he's dodging out the way, isn't he? So yeah, he did eventually come back though. You know, as we know, they do heal relatively fast. What else? Right, so then obviously we had Gabby and Cold go after Falco. There was obviously a moment where, you know, they did actually see Falco, and then Niall basically handed them over. Gabby did stop Cold from shooting him, thank God. Because I mean, that was the obvious thing that was that was going to happen there. I mean, you could see that coming, because obviously Cold didn't realize what Niall was actually planning to do. You know, and Gabby stopped it, so you know, good for her. And then kind of like immediately after that admits that, yeah, there weren't any devils at all, you know what I mean? So she's eventually hit that sort of that point of, you know, just admitting that it never was that way, and that she finally understands Reiner. And that's going to be interesting for her going forward. You know, like, what is her, like where does she go from here, you know? Because that's a lot to take. like that's a lot of information to take on, like a lot of, you know what I mean, like because there's guilt associated with it as well, and Falco was, you know, he was basically, I mean, he feels responsible for the whole thing anyway because he didn't realize that the wounded soldier was Eren, you know, but it's a lot to take on as a kid, and so you would. I don't know where their head is at, if they're able to go ahead and, you know, join up on Marley's side to do anything about it. You know what I mean? Do they have that? Are they in the same mental space to be able to, you know, if they do take on Titan power, like a Titan, are they able to try and attack Paradise and whatnot? I don't know. I really don't know if they are. Because there's been plenty of examples of them not being devils, and I mean, you would have to entirely shut off that whole thing, like that whole image of them, in order to go out and put them into danger, you know. So I don't know. Yelena's scary. That face, man. God. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've kind of known that she was scary anyway, previously. Because just like the way she acts, she's very erratic and like, you know what I mean? When it comes to Zeke and Eren, like she's very fanatical, sorry, not fantastical. She's very fanatical. You know what I mean? And hearing what Armin had to say, like, it immediately piqued her interest. And I'm guessing that's what, like, her excited face was. God, it's fucking scary, man. Like, I don't know if there's ever been a Titan face that was as creepy and scary as that one right there. And that's saying something. We had Mikasa that left her scarf behind. So that's interesting. It's the first time, right? First time ever that's been the case. She's been very possessive over the scarf because of her. Well, obviously it's because of her connection to Eren. So, you know, and now that we've had the fight between them and everything like that, it's harder to, you know, discern that kind of connection. But that's the thing. Is she leaving it behind because she believes that the connection isn't with this, like her connection that she had with Eren through the sort of scarf and everything like that? Maybe she's seeing it as, you know what I mean, that like it's not needed, or is she figuring out willing to distance herself? Because that's the other things, like Eren, the reason why Eren's fought them, and I'm pretty sure we went through that in the discussion on that episode in particular, but the idea, like the reason why he's doing it is not just to be a dick, is he? It's the idea of trying to distance himself from them so that they're not caught up in the shit that Eren's doing, right? So I don't know, maybe she has figured out that. We didn't see it happen, like we didn't see her have that realization or anything like that. But also it could just be as simple as she's just unsure. So, you know, I don't know. Let me know what you think the true meaning of leaving the scarf behind is to signify. I'm pretty sure, you know, I've implemented, like, you know, a few different thoughts on why she probably has there. But if you have anything different, let me know. Yeah, so the crew knows about Levi and Hanji. They don't know the obvious details, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is Levi would not have let Zeke leave alive like that. You know what I mean? So the idea that Zeke is here in the flesh means that something's happened to Levi, and they don't know what, do they? And they don't know what's happened to Hanji either. So, you know, they're like, I was ready for them to assume the worst, and I thought, shit, that's bad, because like that's the thing, is like Armin's just literally laid out this whole like thing of what Eren's actually trying to do, and Jean and Connie are actually on board with it. I don't know for how long. Jean, I feel like it is, you know, he's kind of like more so in it for a longer run, so to speak. Connie is obviously, you know, he's in this state where he was ready to just completely I mean, his mental state is fucked up in regards to it anyway, and the reason why he's so agitated is because he obviously cares about Eren and everything, so obviously it hurts that much more. But he's back on side, at least for now. So that's great. It's good. It's nice to hear. And after Armin had gotten that through to them, immediately to come out and learn that something's happened, to Levi and Hanji's like, that's not going to go down well with them, is it? And Armin gave out the speech to get them on board again, and all it could take is something like that to like fucking, you know what I mean, to turn them back again, because they're obviously not going to like Zeke if Zeke's done something to Levi and Hanji, you know. So it's like, how can you fight on the same team when you know something like that? Obviously we know that Hanji and Levi got away, so you know, at least we know that, but they don't, and that's the thing. So yeah. Falco told Gabby that he loved her, and I was like, fucking hell, that came out of nowhere. But it makes sense, because, you know, he basically said, like, Zeke can scream at any time, and I'm gone, and that's it, you know what I mean? So this might be the only time he has to tell her, so fair enough. He also tells her that's the reason why he wants to take the armor ahead of her, is because he wants her to, you know, to live and be out of that sort of danger that comes with being a Titan shifter and whatnot, and he wanted to take the, you know, that kind of like responsibility ahead of her. So yeah, I mean, again, like, that's going to be another thing going ahead if it changes, like, who gets the Armored Titan, for example. I mean, we don't know if that's the way that it's going to go. I mean, for all we know, Eren could bloody take Reiner in, like, the next coming episodes, you know. So there's no way to tell that. But I suppose, like, in who ranks ahead of who to get the Armored Titan next, I wonder if what Falco said there has any bearing on Gabby getting a Titan or not, basically, right? What else? I think I've pretty much gone through everything there. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, the battle is going. It is interesting the way that it is going, because it seemed throughout the whole battle that Eren has basically had this kind of, not unlock, because he has struggled. I mean, struggled as in mostly with the whole motor skills thing. Being shot in the head is the biggest thing that has basically caused Eren to not be totally ahead in this battle. But I feel like they've always, like, you know, if we're talking about the sides of Paradis and Marley, Paradis kind of had this battle kind of mostly on lock. I never felt that Eren has really been in danger. Like, he is so overpowered right now. The fact is that he's able to take, you know, two other Titans on at once. One who's you know, I don't know, Reiner powerhouse. Like the fact that he's armored and everything like that. The word powerhouse would be to describe him, but it's hard to call him a powerhouse when Eren is just so much, like so far ahead of him, really, right now, you know. But, like, you know, a powerhouse type Titan and a you know, a maneuverable type Titan, you know, being able to take those two on at once. The only reason why, you know, it wasn't over, really, is because he got shot in the head, because of the Car Titan sort of ability, and having that massive cannon on top, being able to shoot from range is obviously the advantage that Marley's side had in this whole fight. And then when Zeke showed up, it was like, that was pretty much it. But they were able to turn the tide, like, well, kind of turn the tide, I suppose, by taking out Zeke, so it's not entirely in Paradis' favour, because with Zeke being there, that it was one-sided as fuck. So now it is interesting, and I just feel like Armin's gonna have to come out, because he can't just allow Eren in the sort of like the state that he's in now. He can't afford Eren to die. We know that. So Armin surely is going to have to... He's going to have to transform. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens next episode. But anyway, yeah, that is all I've got. So thank you for watching. In the description below, I have links to certain things. One of them is the Discord, so you can get stuff over there if you wish. And I also have a Patreon page as well. So if you do want to support me on Patreon, that'd be very much appreciated. There is a bunch of different tiers and rewards there, like early access gives you access to shows a week early, and there is the full-length tier, which gives you access to all of the shows that I react to in full. Okay, so if you want to watch my full-length reactions to all the shows I do, that's the one there for you. There's also the exclusive tier, which gives you access to the full-length movie reactions that I do as well. So if that interests you, that's the one for you there. And that's all I've got. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.